Well, hello all my beautiful friends and welcome into my channel. My name's Jackie Alves and I'm coming to you today from my lovely makeup studio in Arizona where I live. It's called the Beauty Bar for obvious reasons. Today I'm going to be teaching you a few things. Certainly we're going to talk about some lifting tips that I've got to share with you that are just going to kind of lift your features, your cheeks, your eyes, some really easy to duplicate techniques that you can try at home. And also we're going to be talking about warming up your complexion, but let's also talk about those wacky undertones. Like, it's always been a mystery, and especially to chicks our age. It's like, probably in the mall back in the 80s, somebody told you that you were a winter. People always want to tell me that I'm a this or a that, and it's hilarious because they always base it on, just what they immediately see, like my hair color, or because I have blue eyes, or because they say I have cool undertones. Some people will tell me I have warm. You can try the old vein trick. So that's, if you've got blue veins, then you have cool undertones. If you have green veins, you have warm undertones, they say. Well, most of us, when you're being totally honest, most of us have both. I've got blue and green, which is supposed to mean that you're neutral. So, what's the gig, Fig? What's going on right now? I really want to talk about more of what's going to make you look and feel beautiful, because guess what? That's what we do here on my channel. Let's talk about what makes you feel beautiful, what makes you feel lovely, and let's talk about a look that you can actually duplicate at home without all the guesswork of going into the cosmetics store with 8 million different choices on the wall, and then you're just stinking confused. And I'm not a fan of that. So, let's talk about how to just look great and feel great in the makeup that we've either already got or something that you can easily find. All right, so you guys, I've been a makeup artist for over 30 years and I've got lots of great tips for you. Oh, I was looking for my moisturizer. Always moisturize, that's a tip. But I've got better ones than that. So I've also got good suggestions for you. And if you're curious about some shade, brand, formula, whatever, that I don't even use, you could still drop a comment, you guys. Let me know your questions. I love to answer them. And I have worked for or with over 20 different beauty brands over the last 33 years. So you bet your butt I probably know a couple of things. And don't forget to moisturize your mouth. All right, bring it down the neck. I'm gonna use a quick neck cream, you guys. So, you guys, seriously, when you're looking for a shade of foundation, think about formula first so you know where to start. Now, this neck cream has niacinamide in it, so that's supposed to help with this redness, and I hope that it does. I've been seeing a little bit of a difference because normally I'm but I feel like it's calmed down from what it used to be, so that's better. Better is better. Anyway, think about the formula of foundation first before you start whacking out about the shade, okay? So do you want it to be a dewy finish, a matte finish, a natural finish? Do you want it to have an SPF in it, stuff like that? Because that'll help you narrow it down when you're on the hunt, when you're prowling like a lion in the cosmetics store. That just gave me all kinds of visuals. Anyway, so now I'm gonna use a silicone-based primer. Now this one is called Royal Radiance Radiant Primer. So basically, it's gonna give you like a dewy finish. This is gonna not be your friend if you want a matte finish, okay? So I am going for dewy today because I really want to kind of brighten up my skin. Sometimes I feel like it's dull. And, welcome to menopause, for the love of Pete. Like, what? Welcome to menopause. Your skin starts to dull and everything else starts to go south. Anyway, there we go. I got my primer kind of patted in. I like to really press it into the pores here through the middle. And then I just start to kind of pat it. All right, so I don't feel like I got on enough eye cream. I'm gonna cake a little bit of extra eye cream on real quick. I don't feel like I can have enough eye cream, honestly. So this is just a good basic lightweight eye cream. I use a real thick one at night, but during the day I like to stay kind of lightweight so that my concealer and stuff doesn't crease. And I'm going much lighter than you think, so don't crack me for pulling too hard on my skin. All my friends out there are like, don't pull so hard on your eyes. I'm not, I promise. It just looks like it on camera. Okay, so let's talk about foundation now. I've got my primer on. So I wanted to talk about undertones with you first before we get into some lifting goodies. Lifting goodies. All right, so I've got 3 foundations here, and today I'm working with cream foundation. I use liquid foundation, I like powder foundation, I like matte, I like dewy finish, whatever. The cream foundation that I'm gonna work with today is, of course, by Jafra Cosmetics. You guys know I love them and I use them a lot. But the same principles will fly with any cream that you love. But I really wanna talk about shade right now rather than just formula. And I certainly don't wanna talk about brand the whole time. I will tell you what I'm using so that you know. But if you've got another brand that you love or something else in your drawer, girl, let's use that, okay? This channel is not focused on brands, even though I have a favorite. I'm sure you do too. Okay, so let's talk about these 2 different shades. Now, my undertones are neutral, okay? Because I've got the green and blue veins. You can see here when you look at yourself what your veins are. I have a lot of redness though, okay? So that's gonna dictate more than, oh, I'm a cool or a warm, or, you know, I'm winter, fall, I don't even know what. That's just, I just like to wear colors that make me feel pretty. I don't like to be told I'm a winter because I don't care. I just want to wear what looks good. So I hope that you guys, if that works for you and it's helped you with your selections, that's awesome. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because we all need to whittle down this crazy beauty industry that we're in somehow. But you guys, seriously, I can't trap myself into a season, especially not when I live here in the desert and we get like 350 days of summer. So, all right, I've got 2 shades here. And they look equally good on me. They blend out and kind of just smoke, or no, that's not the word I'm looking for. They just blend into my skin really well. Let's just call it that. But one has more gold in it and one is more neutral. Now with all this red in my skin, I might want something with a little more gold to correct it. Okay, same if you've got a lot of darkness in your skin, dark spots, hyperpigmentation, darkness under the eyes, something that has like a little more on the orange side might help correct that. But with redness, typically yellow or gold tones will neutralize that. So that's one reason why I go in that direction. Now, if you just have, you know, you feel like you're all cool undertones, definitely you don't have to add warmth. You can stay with cool, but again, that's what I'm saying. This is the channel of no rules. You guys, I say that in almost every video, no rules. Like, it's art, it's makeup, it's what's gonna make you feel beautiful. Now, it's good to have guidelines, of course, but you know, don't tell me your rules. So I'm gonna show you these 2 different shades. I'm gonna use the one that has way more gold in it right now. Oh, let me get a mirror. It's gonna be really good if I could see what's going on here. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna use the one that has more gold right here, starting in the middle where I've got all the redness. I get all the redness. All right, so I'm not putting it under my eyes though, you guys. I rarely ever put foundation under my eyes in the beginning. I'll go back later and conceal or use foundation under my eyes so it will clean up my eyeshadow. So you'll notice I'm not really getting anything under there. All right. A little bit on my chin and my forehead, and I did not dip back in to that little container at all, because I really want kind of a natural finish. I don't want to build it up. And you can. You guys probably know with cream, you can build it to the sky. You could build the Tower of Babel with cream foundation if you want. I don't suggest it. Okay, now I'm going to use the foundation. This one's called Natural, and it's more of a neutral shade. It's not so much yellow. And I just take a couple of blobs of that. And I'm going to use it over here. Same method, just starting right in the middle and pulling it out. And I'm not using very much at all. I could probably stand to use a little bit more of that one. But I want to show you the difference. Now you can see this is much more gold in it, but if I brought it down the neck and put a little on my chest, it would still look okay. And keep in mind, videos always make it look way more gold than it is. Okay, so really, like if I look at myself in my regular mirror here, they both look pretty good. I really like them both a lot. I do think that I will go with this one just because I'm going for more of a natural look. If I was going to use like a light concealer right through here and then some contour, I might stick with the more gold tone because it will add some beautiful dimension and warmth. But I think that for the look today, for a more natural finish, I'm going to just stick with that natural shade. I really like that it did have just enough warmth in it that it does correct the redness in my skin. So I'm going to go back over this side with the natural shade, just so I can bring it all back together, sort of. I mean, it won't be perfect, but that's okay. Because, you know, we're friends. We're all friends on this channel. We don't have to be perfect, right? So this morning I was praying with my husband on the way in. We usually pray together every morning, like face to face. It's really helped our marriage a lot. We didn't communicate very well in the beginning, which I think is common for a lot of people. But we started praying together face to face, and I'll pray over him and he prays over me, and then we, you know, pray for our kids, our friends, stuff like that. Our country, of course. But this morning I was in a hurry, so I had to call him, so we prayed on the phone. And you guys, it was just so amazing. When he started praying, he said, God, I just want to thank you for my wife, my beautiful bride, who I can't imagine life without. Like these things that he doesn't normally say. Like he's wonderful and kind, but he doesn't usually get like drippy sweet like that. And I was like, oh, like I spent my morning like thinking of him and what he had said. All right, now I'm going to just put this right here. And I thought, isn't that amazing? Like the power of our words, that one simple thing. My beautiful bride, I can't imagine life without. And I'm just like all morning, I'm like, he's the best thing ever. All right, so really I just need to correct this big crazy red chest. So one thing that I had him pray over, because he'll ask, you know, is there anything specific you need prayer for? And I said, women's Bible study, because I'm leading a women's Bible study once a week. And we're going to be talking about like connecting with good girlfriends in Christ and stuff like that. And it's just been a great turnout. So I'm really excited about it. But one reason why I wanted to share that with you is to let you know, if you need prayer for anything, drop it in the comments. I don't often do that, you guys, but I'm serious. I love praying for all of you. So if there's something specific, please let me know. Okay, just a little more foundation. Now I'm gonna make sure I've got a good amount on my eyelids, okay? Because that's gonna help my eyeshadow really hold. Let me come closer. All right, there we go. And then over the lips just a little bit. I know I don't have a bunch of foundation left on this brush, you guys. I'm just doing little, so I don't want to like cake it up. And I didn't, you know, put a full layer over my lips. Just buffing with this dry brush is really helpful. Now, the reason I'm keeping it really sheer is because I'm going to show you some of those lifting techniques later. So I'm going to use more products to my advantage later. So I don't want a big fat cakey layer on right now. No cakey layers, not right now. Oh, where's my powder? Oh, here it is. Okay, right now I'm just gonna use this translucent powder because it's super lightweight, and I don't really wanna set and bake and cake and all the things because I've got a cream foundation on. So I wanna keep it light, but I still need to just sort of do a quick set. And I'm just using this fat fan brush. I'm using this fat fan brush You can use whatever powder brush you like, but I just like this one because it's kind of cool. All right, just a little bit. It's just a true translucent, you guys, but it's a really fine powder. So, you know, I don't want to cake it down and set it. Just, you know, lightly kind of buffing over the top. Now I want to talk about lifting in terms of contour. So I'm going to grab my usual, the powder contour palette I use all the time. This is the one I use here at the Beauty Bar. It's my brand, the Beauty Bar. But I have this here for my students in my academy, but one powder contour palette I'm getting a lot of comments about if you're looking for one. Everybody really seems to love the Elf brand powder contour. So check that out if you are in the market for powder contour. Now I'm coming right underneath my cheekbone. Now usually my contour is just going to go up like this, but I'm concentrating really on lifting. So I'm going to come up towards my hairline and swoop it up right under where I wish I had a cheekbone. But I talk about this a lot, you guys, since I've lost a lot of weight, and of course, you know, age and gravity, I'm pretty flat here now. So I'm trying to create not just a lifted look, but a little bit of a plumper cheek too. So usually I'll come down like this because I like to stack my blush inside of it, but today I'm really lifting up and coming up the side of my temple and bringing it around. Yeah, I'm bringing it around town. And that was a SpongeBob reference for my children who love SpongeBob, but I do too. Right, so a little bit here. And so with these lifting techniques, you know, we want to, like I mentioned gravity earlier, gravity's like, come down here with me. And, you know, we're always trying to bust loose, right? Like, get off of me, gravity. And so, you know, always with the lifting techniques, like lifting bras. I'm teaching you lifting contouring. I've got some lift in my hair. I'll show you later what I mean, but always with the lifting, right? But always that's in attempt to do exactly what Cher was saying this morning. Turn back time. If I could turn back time. I was wailing that song here in the Beauty Bar this morning, and the guys next door are probably like, oh, here she goes again. Yeah, I can't help it. And it's so funny when Cher sings that song, her voice is so deep and weird, but I mean in a good way. She's so different, like Stevie Nicks, you know, you would never mistake their voice ever in a million years ever. Heard Stevie Nicks this morning too on the way in. Just getting my jam on. Okay, now check this out, you guys. Look how this is coming up. I'm not worried about it being a little splotchy right here because it's all gonna come together. Now, I always say, and if you've seen me more than twice or 3 times ever on this channel, you know what I'm about to say. Trust the process. Just trust it. Trust it. I'm telling you. But I'm gonna go back to my foundation brush and I'm gonna buff this part and this part, because you know sometimes it can come down a little low, especially if you're singing Cher songs while you do your contour. You know, it's not always conducive to perfect contour. Now I'm going to go up at my hairline. This is just normal. You know, I don't have to worry too much about this. I don't really need a lifting technique on my forehead. I don't know that contour would help that in any way, shape, or form. You know, I have some great friends who have got some good Botox, like for 11s right here, for forehead wrinkles or to lift the brow. I've never done any Botox or fillers. And I'm not saying that to be like, I've never done Botox or fillers. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying it because I'm kind of saving up, not money, but I'm saving my face for when I turn 60. Maybe. I mean, this is my plan as of now, but I change regularly. But I think when I turn 60, I'm gonna get a facelift, and I have heard, okay, don't forget to contour underneath though. This is lifting, so check this out. I have heard that if you don't have anything done to your facelift will go better, look better, last longer kind of thing. So I'm kind of holding out. All right, now part of the lifting is contouring your turkey gobble. So that you're gonna get a naturally kind of lifted effect on the jawline here. Now I'm gonna bring it down a little bit in the middle, little in the middle. And on the sides, this will actually elongate the neck. Is that the right word? Because sometimes I think I say elongate, and I think that's the wrong word. Get cracked on for that too. Me and my nonsense, not perfect grammar, how dare I? Okay, so really what's going on is I've shaded this way, and this way, which helps elongate the neck, or whatever the word is. All right, so you can see I've got a good little bit of glow going on there. Now I'm gonna hit it with some blush, but I'm gonna use a smaller brush. I'm gonna use a little pink and a little orange because it's gonna make peach. Use what you like, but I'm gonna plop it right on top here. And it's coming up much higher than usual, you guys. I'm getting it really close to like my temple, hairline, darker towards the hairline. And now I'm gonna come towards my nose. But look, it's pretty close underneath my eye there. And later when I go back and do my concealer, it will run into my blush, but that's okay because I will back blend. So it's actually causing a double layer of that blush that helps it last longer. And I do like to put just a little too much blush in the beginning, because once you get all the way to the end, you're actually like, oh, that looks nice. Rather than, oh, I need more blush. Just start plopping it on. See, fade toward the nose. Okay, now I've got this blush much higher than I normally do it, you guys. So this is all part of that lifting, and it takes a little bit of time. You know, so this is one of those focus techniques. Now it's easy to duplicate, but you do need to invest just a little bit of time. You don't have to tell a long story while you're doing it though. Sometimes I'll have people pop into the channel and be like, this is too long of a video. I can't, or you know, I can't take 40 minutes to do my makeup. I know, you're probably not talking to 25,000 people while you're doing it. Sometimes that takes extra time. Okay, so now I'm gonna hop over into some eyeshadow, and I wanted to show you a really basic eyeshadow trick that I love. And so I'm just gonna go with this fat brush. Oh no, that's too fat. Let me get it to way too fat. Sorry brush, you're too fat for the likes of me. Okay, this one's good. Fat eyeshadow brush. And I'm gonna grab this light cream color. You guys see me use this all the time, but we talked last time I did a video talking about concealer and dark circles. We talked about this. If you've got those severely hooded eyes and a lot of crepiness, you know, I really suggest that you maybe go with something closer to your skin tone, or even a shade deeper than your skin tone instead of brightening, because that's bringing attention to it. Just go with something a little bit deeper if you don't want to showcase that area. I do, because mine's still pretty smooth on that inner corner, but it's hooded. So I'm trying to bring attention to it. Okay, now I'm gonna show you a couple of lifting things here. I'm gonna just take my second shade. I'm gonna use this pink right here. And it's a warm pink. You could use a cool pink with some purple if you like. I like warm shades better. I do purple and pink, like I do cool shades and neutral tones, and I have several videos with them, but my favorite is warm. And especially with this warm, this is like a warm turquoise shade that I love, love, love. There we go. So just bring it up towards your brow. This is part of that lifting technique, okay? So, on this outer area right here, I'm bringing up, up, up. So don't let it end right here and just be a little triangle. Bring it up, because this is only your second shade. So, you know, it's gonna smoke or blend into the brow area. Bring it up, bring it up. You know, we're lifting, so lift some things. And you can see how I really just kind of bounce that product into the area that I want it. I don't start swirling, and I'm still using the big brush. So if you've got a smaller area than I do, just use a little bit smaller brush, but it's pretty large because I want it to blend in a large area. If you use a small brush, it's going to get concentrated in this tiny area. All right, so bring it up just like the other side, but out further than you think. Don't worry about it if you go too far, because we're going to do a lifting thing with our concealer. I'm going to show you a new trick with that, so it's okay if you get all whacked out with your eyeshadow coming out further than it should. Okay, so I'm going to go to one shade deeper now with a smaller brush. I'm going to just swap over to brown, and just with a very small amount. You can do this with whatever 3 shades you love. You can do it with pink and purple. You can do it with blue. You can do it with gray, whatever you like. But you just go light, medium, dark. That's all you need to do. And I'm just adding depth out here. I'm not getting super technical with that super tutorial, you know, in-depth, full glam, all the things. This is just going to be a little bit of extra depth on the outer corners, because I'm going to show you what we'll do with it, how we'll get that lift out of it. And it just fades in toward my nose, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to bring it up a little bit more than you think. Don't let it disappear into your little hooded lid area and then say, my eyeshadow never shows because my lids are hooded. Don't say it. Just bring the eyeshadow up. Bring it up to your dang brow if you need to. But just try it. You might be surprised how good it looks. All right. And you know, we don't have the same shaped eyes. You know, we really don't. We're all different. So if you need to bring it up higher than me, bring it up. If you don't, then don't. If you have a smaller eye than I do, use a smaller brush. Oh, speaking of that, so I've had a lot of people say that I should have different people on my channel so you can see me do other people's makeup. And I've not wanted to do that in the past. Okay, I'm gonna take my brown with a small smudger brush and I'm gonna use it underneath. You guys see me do this a lot. I'm gonna just use it for my eyeliner, but it's much softer, so it doesn't close off my eye like a harsh eyeliner would. Darker on the outside, fade toward the nose. So I haven't wanted to do that in the past, bring somebody on, because for one, it's totally different with the camera to get it up in my model's face, or you would see my hand, and then another camera so I can explain to you what I'm doing. So there's a lot that goes on there that, you know, I've just not been able to go in that direction, but I'm gonna try it. Now I'm bringing this dark shade up to go right on my lash line. This will help me with my eyeliner. It doesn't have to be so precise if you've got a little bit of dark eyeshadow right here on your outer corner. Okay, so what I was saying is I am going to bring a model on. I haven't had friends who would agree to it because they're afraid. They're like, everybody on YouTube's mean. I see what they say about you sometimes. They just don't want to get tore up. Where me, I'm like, whatever. And so, you know, I don't blame them. But I do have a beautiful friend who has agreed to pop on with me, and I'm actually going to do her makeup. She is getting close to 60, so she's about my age, just a few years older. She's absolutely gorgeous, so I'll be bringing her on soon, so can't wait for you guys to see that. Also, we've had some subscribers that said, well, I'll come and be a model, so let's plan those trips. That would be super fun to have you guys come, and then I could feature you on this channel. That would be a blast. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and just darken my brows and do some mascara and eyeliner, and I'll be right back. And so I totally lied. I am not gonna darken my brows and be right back. I'm gonna darken my brows with you because I wanna show you something that's lifting. It just dawned on me when I was about to do this. Jackie, show them the lifting brow thing. So here I am. So I just have a brow powder and I'm gonna go right here at the arch and deepen just that arch area and bring it up if I need to. Like if I feel like, you know, if I had a client whose brows were coming straight across or down, you can try to add a little bit of an arch by bringing it up and making it bold just in this arch area and bring it around, keeping it lifted a little bit. So I'm just going on the top side of my brow. I'm not trying to create anything, you know, wacky out of the lines. And bring it out this way. Now, I don't want it to, you know, slant this way and come into my hairline, but I also don't want it to come down and close off this area. So keeping in mind how your eyelid comes this way, as your brow should as well. Almost like they're running parallel like friends. Okay, so I bring it into a point here, but I still haven't done anything with this inner area because I'm gonna switch to the lighter shade. I wanna keep this part soft. I don't wanna block off my eyebrows, but I do want that bold look right here in the arch. Now what happens is, not only will you get it a little bit lifted, but it's also gonna give your brow a little bit more youthful look. As we age, our brows start to fall out or, you know, fade, or it's obvious we're a victim of the 90s and we wanted to have Pamela Anderson eyebrows, whatever. But if you do this, it'll give them a nice, like a little bit of a thicker look without a block. All right, I'm gonna do the other side and then I will be right back. Also, I'm gonna show you a quick trick with eyeliner, real fast. So, pencil liner, no big deal. Just a pencil, nothing special. Fat triangle. But I'm not bringing it down to the edge and lifting it up, because what's gonna happen is sad eye is gonna just swoop it down and you're gonna have this little sad flick of eyeliner right there. So don't go all the way to the end. See how I've left? Let me come even closer. So I've left a little bit and I'm putting a fat triangle right here. I don't really care too much about a wing right now. I do have a tiny one there, but that's not my objective. Now I'm just gonna fade toward my nose. And now I want it to completely disappear into my lash line. And I do mean completely disappear. I don't mean like stop abruptly where you have a black blob right here. I mean, let it totally fade into those lashes. All right. That triangle. And I think I accidentally crossed my eyes because I can't see. All right, so you can see that just this little bit on the outer corner is adding depth out here. So that's kind of the main idea. Just add that depth right there, and then we'll let the concealer do some work for us too when we get to that part. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've got both eyeliners done. I've got my brows done. Now, before I go to mascara, I wanna show you a quick lifting technique that I like to do with highlighter. So just this gold highlighter that's here in my contour palette. You could use, you know, any type of like shimmery eyeshadow if you like, if you got a white, silver, gold, something like that. But I'm gonna put some right here in the arch of the brow. Just a little bit. I don't want it to go completely across. I just used it to give a lift right there, and you can see since it highlighted that brow, it kind of gives a lifted effect. Try not to get it in the brow. If you need a smaller brush, you could use a little slant brush like the one I used for my eyebrows. Okay, so that's gonna lift the brow a little bit. I do wanna put a little bit of that gold right here and on the inner corner. Now again, if you've got a really crepey inner corner, you can forego this part. But it really helps give sort of a lifted look to the inner corner. And adding to this, so you've got this brightened, then the slant with your eyeliner, everything begins to go this way. And again, just wait till the concealer, you'll be super impressed. And just a little bit here. Then I'll go back with my little brush, adding it right to that inner corner. And I'm showing you every single trick, so you can just literally take your favorites. Like a buffet. Yeah, welcome to my Jackie Alves Makeup Buffet channel. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do my mascara and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I've got my mascara on and I'm just gonna give my lashes a little lift. Mascara's not completely dry yet, so I kind of like, at the roots, I shove it backwards, cause my lashes to stand up a little bit more. I think a lot of us have a little tip or trick for our mascara that we love. All right, so now the time I've been blabbering about this whole time is the wait for the concealer trick. So here it is. I'm gonna get into concealer right now. Now I'm using the Beauty Bar Liquid Concealer. Again, this is my own brand, you guys. And it's just a liquid concealer. I sometimes will use foundation or, you know, something really creamy under my eyes. But today I want to show you with actual concealer. This is very comparable to Tarte Shape Tape or even e.l.f. concealer. This is a little bit higher quality than e.l.f., but still that's a great concealer. So I've got a little bit of that number 16 is the one I used. So you can see it's fairly light, but not super light. I do like to brighten under my eyes, but that's not my objective today, going super bright. Just like 1 to 2 shades lighter is what you're gonna wanna do. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my eye cream. That eye cream that I used, you guys, is the Jafra Royal Revitalize Longevity Eye Cream. This one is nice and lightweight, but packed with stuff that's good for your skin. But it mixes really well with concealer because it's so lightweight. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that eye cream, get it into my concealer with this kind of flat paddle type brush. It's kind of big, so if you have a smaller area, just get a smaller brush. But I want you to, when we're doing the lifting techniques, there's a lot of different ways I've taught you how to do concealer, but we're gonna do a little bit here. And you can see that there. And now I'm gonna pat it in. I'm not putting it right where I want it. I'm just adding that product gently. I'm gonna pull my eyeshadow out. You can see what's happening right there. I wanna make sure I don't have too much concealer on this brush. I've already put the product there, and now it's more about feathering it. There we go. Now just pat to bring it down into the like little well of the eye. Now if you have really severe, you know, wells in there, you may not want to brighten and accentuate it. So, you know, if that's an issue, do something that's closer to your skin tone than something so bright. I want to really use it to cut my eyeshadow that I put underneath, slice it up, make it sharp, and bring it out. Now I'm going to work on softening this line, feathering lightly. And I really am using a really light touch when I do this. Okay, so you can see it highlighted this upward draw right here. Upward draw. I don't know what to call it, you guys. Now you can see that gave a great lift there. And I think you could probably see the difference without me trying to over dramatize it. Oh, look how I'm lifted over here. I naturally do lift my right eyebrow too high though. It's like I think I'm Elvis sometimes. I'm a hunk of burning love. Speaking hunk of burning love. So I told you guys I was praying with Mr. Alves on the way in today. He's building up a YouTube channel right now because I've been sober for 12 years, almost 12 years now, and he's been sober for over 30. So we together have a great testimony. All right, so eye cream and concealer. There we go again. But we really minister to people struggling with addiction a lot, and I minister specifically to those that are praying for those in addiction. So, you know, the parents, the wives, the loved ones that kind of get left behind in the wake of destruction, I always call it, you know, those people that we're always praying for and believing for, you know, they take a lot of energy, a lot of time. So those of you that are praying and sowing into their lives, I love to try to bring you hope. So that's kind of what this channel is going to focus on, that my husband's building right now. Okay, tapping this around, just like the other side. And so it's not quite ready for launch yet, but I'm excited about it because it's going to be the two of us together. So knowing God better with Lauren and Jackie Alves. And we're going to be on there together. So it's going to be really fun, you guys. All right, lifting. Don't pull too hard. And now just do the pat. That actually feels really good if you're puffy underneath, like I am most of the time. Dun, 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 dun. That looks so good. I love this part so much. I'm gonna lift a little bit higher. There we go. But then also, knowing I did that, I better match up this side because you don't want to be lopsided. I mean, most of us are a little bit lopsided. We can't all be perfect, but it doesn't mean you have to accentuate that. All right, this brush is pretty much dry right now. I'm just buffing quite a bit, making sure everything still looks good. All right, I think that's some pretty dang good lift. Now remember, I told you about giving that kind of double stack of blush. So I'm going to back blend with my blush, but higher than usual, okay? Because we're really focusing on the lifting techniques. So I'm gonna bring it up to make sure it didn't disappear when I brought that concealer down. So my blush is much higher than usual here. That looks so pretty. All right, I've got a pretty neutral look going on with my eyeshadow as well. Now I want to show you something that you can do to deepen the eyeshadow if you still feel like, you know, that hooded lid is still looking dragged down. You can grab some brown eyeshadow, contour, powder, whatever, just a deeper shade, and add it right into the crease there. See, I'm just bouncing a little bit of a deeper brown in there, and it really gives even more lift to that because it's adding depth in the crease. So accentuating that brow that we highlighted. So just a little bit of that brown powder, bouncing it into my crease, not really caring if it's perfect. Bring it up. I feel like I'm an exercise routine instructor now. Bring it up, higher, lift, higher. I feel like the Richard Simmons of makeup. I've been the Bob Ross of makeup, the Gordon Ramsay of makeup. Now all of a sudden I'm the Richard Simmons of makeup. whatever. Now, definitely if we're gonna do some lashes, that's gonna give a lift. You guys know that, but let's do lips really fast. And I'm just gonna line, lipstick, and gloss, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got a good neutral lip liner on. I'm gonna use a liquid matte lipstick by, of course, Jafra Cosmetics. This one is called Rosy Kiss, but it's not really rosy. I really like it for a neutral. And the thing about these is if you like matte, but you're like, I don't really like how stiff or cakey it feels or how dry it feels, these are actually really good. I would say they have like a buttery texture. So if you're looking for something with a matte finish that doesn't feel cakey on your lips, give that one a try. And of course, I'll make sure that the link is in the description for you if you want to pick it up. There's also Beach Kiss and Mocha Kiss if you like some good neutral lipsticks. Give it a whack. All right, that looks pretty good. Now, definitely, we want to put on lashes with this, so I'm going to plop those suckers on real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I was going to just pop on these lashes off camera so that it didn't take too much time, but you know what? The struggle is real. I had such a hard time with this one. I wanted to show you what I did to fix it. So if you struggle with your lashes too, you're not like, oh, Jackie gets it perfect every time. How come I can't do it? I want you to see that sometimes it's a struggle. So right here, my inner corner was not sticking down. It was kind of just going up and driving me crazy. So I used a little more black eyeliner right along my lash line to thicken up that line so that the band of the lash would disappear. So I'm going to show you the other side. So this is a half lash so that I can just focus it on the outer corner. And because I'm right-handed, the right side always goes on easier. But I'm gonna show you what happened on that other side. So right here on the inner corner, it just was not gonna stick down. And it was looking really stupid. It was sticking up really bad. So I took my black eyeliner, just that same pencil, and very, like on the side, I just laid it down right there and gently just added a little more black eyeliner. Now, of course, I have to do a magnifying mirror, like 80 times magnification out the wazoo. All right, so that's how I kind of was able to disguise that inner corner, that band that sometimes will drive you crazy if it doesn't look right. So I can just get in there and just add a little bit of black eyeliner. So I just want to show you how to repair that. If it all goes awry, you know, if everything gets sideways on you, you can fix it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and check under my eyes. Oh, and you guys, I want to show you the half lashes. I get a giant card of them off of Amazon because they're so inexpensive. And that's super important if you ruin them as much as I do, that you don't pay a fortune for them. Now I'm just gently buffing through the middle. Now if you get, you know, pretty oily and you start to get a little bit shiny, it's okay. Just give it another quick buff with a little bit of powder if you need. And then I'm gonna actually use a dewy finish setting spray. So let me not accidentally throw my mirror. Watch me get out of control and toss the mirror one of these days. I really do like a dewy finish most of the time. Now, if I'm going to be on stage or if it's super hot outside, I go matte because I know I'm going to be giving myself a dewy finish, AKA hot flash. So sometimes matting that finish down is very important. All right, so let's talk about my hair in conjunction with those lifting techniques. Now, when I took the sections before I curled it, I back combed just a tiny bit right at the roots of each section to give it some lift. So again, are you like sensing a theme here? Lifting, lifting, and more lifting. Now, I left it pinned while I did my makeup so that it would just cool off there, and it just helps the curl last a lot longer for me. And my clients too, when I do hair, I roll and set like this. And sometimes, you know, smaller barrel, whatever, but almost always I set with pins. And so you guys, this morning after I prayed with Mr. Alves, I was telling you about, and I was listening to some music on the way in, the ZZ Top song came on. Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. And I was thinking how much I love it when my husband looks so good, you know, when he does dress sharp. And I was thinking, like, why are we like that? You know, and you know, what is sharp dress to me? Maybe that's not to you, because I know I have a lot of friends here. We have a Marine base here, and I have friends who love it when their husbands are in uniform. But I actually love it when my husband's in jeans, dress shoes, and a suit jacket. I don't know what that's my favorite look. My husband's gonna be so embarrassed I talked about him so much today, or he'll be completely flattered. All right, so the lift that I got on my hair, I didn't do the front because I wasn't looking for an 80s lift, right? Remember, like Radiance hairspray, hold it up with the comb and blow dry. I remember hearing the sizzle when you would curl it. You knew if you got the sizzle, it was gonna be a good hairdo back in the day. But now I cry if I hear that sizzle because I know I'm burning what hair I have left off. Okay, but the point I'm making about the lift is to get some lift at the sides. It's gonna also help with that lift, right? Now, sometimes I do like my hair down around to frame my face, and if you've got a wide face or anything like that, maybe that's what you like to do. But, you know, I have told you before, I think that 80s rocker hair is coming back, and so, I'm a fan. Let me get over here to this mirror so I can see this side real good. And just comb out this crazy ringlet over here. And grab the big sexy hairdo. Yeah, Miss Texas, I'm about to give you a run for your money, girlfriend. With this big old hair over here. And if Miss Texas ever watched this video, she'd be like, whatever, you crazy lady. Or I would get the usual, I hope I look as good as you when I'm as old as you. I heard that one the other day and I was like, so it begins. I used to just hear, oh, you know, you have nice skin or whatever. Now it's, I hope I look as good as you when I'm your age. I'm like, what age do you think that is? 422 for the love. All right. Little over the top with the hair today, but you know what, abs, because I like it. I like it a lot, I do. Yeah, show off your lift if you can get that hair out a little bit. Yeah, buddy. What do you think, you guys? Showed you a lot of things today, so like I said, welcome to the buffet. Pick and choose what you like, but don't fill up on the cheap stuff. I don't know what that means, but you know, at a buffet, that's kind of what I tell myself. All right, let me do the teeth check. All right, I got away with no lipstick on my teeth today. It must be that matte lipstick. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and check out my members only area. It's pretty cool too. And don't forget that I love and appreciate you so much. I hope that you give 1 or 2 or 17 of these tips and tricks a try. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, everyone.